Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're enjoying a beautiful day out on this is the Judy farm, the North Place. This is one of the farms my Uncle Scott owned before he passed away, and Jan and I, we were able to buy it from one of my uncles, and yeah. We put some ponds in for water. We've got all the brush kind of pushed back. It looked like that over there when we started. Anyway, it had this old Quonset barn on it, and the end of the barn was completely blown out, basically. I mean, it's a pretty good old barn for, we put square bales in there. And between Jan's horse and getting calves up or cows, or even sheep days, bringing hay, square bales, it's nice to have some bales available. And so the roof on the barn, it's a Quonset. It's been there forever. This barn was built, gosh, I don't know, way back. This farm was actually called the Happy Buckler Farm. And I asked my dad, why did they call him Happy Buckler? And he said, well, every time you saw him, he was happy because he was drunk. He always had a pretty good buzz on. And back in those days, a lot of these old timers that lived in these hills, unfortunately, they had a crutch on whiskey. And they'd buy, cheap old rot gut whiskey and just stay drunk all the time. And so this was called the Happy Buckler Farm. And my Uncle Scott bought it from Happy's relatives. I think Happy ended up dying. But anyway, Scott bought this back in the, gosh, I think it was in the late 50s. Might have been early 60s. And there was an old house right there where that pile of brush is right there. And it wasn't much of a house, but Uncle Scott, he moved into that because he was living where our Airbnb is. That was his house too. He had that farm as well. But he knew his brother, which was my dad, Alan, had 7 kids and a wife, and we were in Minnesota. We were coming this way, and he said, Alan, come on and move into my house. So Scott moved up here in that. And I'm telling you, folks, it was a pretty rough old house. I mean, it had windows in it and a door. It had a little well. Right here was the well. It's caved in now. That was a cistern. It had an old, hand crank on it. And then there was a cellar back over there by those trees. But it didn't look like this. This is a really woolly looking piece of property. And we've done a lot of work on it and got it where it's really producing pretty well for us. We are in, severe drought, or we were. We got 2.25 inches about 4 days ago. It's unbelievable how everything's greened up again. So getting a little bit of growth. We're supposed to get 10 days without freezing temperatures at night, and it's going to be up in the 60s and the low 40s at night. And yeah, we've got a couple of our Amish friends helping us, and the boys, Isaac and David. And the reason I'm not getting close is it's against the Amish don't like you filming them, but I asked Mose about it one time. I said, well, just don't say anything, just do it, and don't get up close, So I'm being respectful. I don't want them being real close on video because it is against their religion. But I tell you what, in other words, they can't video themselves, but you can do it at a distance, and they don't have a problem with that. I'm telling you what, now they are some really good carpenters. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm not gonna say anything because somebody told me it messes up the volume when you zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in and I'll zoom out and not say anything. Okay, I'm back. We're putting a 4-foot door in there, 82 inches tall, because when we have hay delivered in there, I don't haul hay anymore. I just have it delivered into that shed, and that shed will hold about 750 bales. And they stack them on side like that, and if we don't feed them all, I don't worry about it. I'll feed out the other end the next year. There's going to be another door on the other end. So we have a door on each end. That way you don't have to walk from one end to the other when you stack hay in there. But the boys are having a good time working with Mose and Henry. And Jan's going to be bringing us over lunch here in a little bit on a beautiful, beautiful fall, end of October day here in central Missouri. It's still chilly out here, but you know, if you're working, it's very comfortable. And we did put up a deer stand up here. Our lifetime lease owner, we've always just put a ground blind up here. I'm gonna show you what we did. We got a really nice tripod put up over here at the corner of this faucet now. I can't wait to hunt out of it. Last year I set up here on the ground in a little tent, and I counted, in that one evening I counted 23 deer, 23 different ones that came out of that timber over there. What they're doing, they're coming out here in our pasture eating this clover and grass, and there's orchard grass out here. And there's a big pile of old hay for Jan's garden. This is the other end. We haven't even started on it yet. We're going to take that tree out. It's right in the way. It's an old elm tree. It doesn't need to be there. Yep. But anyway, here I'm gonna show you. This is the stand right here. I'm gonna climb that and show you. This is cool. So here's where I've always sat, right here on the ground. And it doesn't give you the best advantage as far as getting up and looking down on them. So you got to be really careful. But up here, check this out. I'm climbing with one hand, which is a no-no. I'm going slow. This stand's about, I don't know, that's probably 14 feet. Boy, it's got a nice chair on it, though. Okay. Oh, man, look at this. Oh, this is going to be so sweet. It's like a gallery. You know, we got the camouflaged. See, this comes up over the top. This does, and it folds back down. So literally, let me get that burlap out there. See, you're sealed in here, camouflaged on all sides. Oh, this is gonna be so sweet. So we got a water source there. We got two over here. There's that one and another one on the left. You see all that timber, we call that the 100. And that used to be all Judy farm. And I just couldn't swing it. You know, my uncle begged me to buy that. And that was in it was 1993 when I bought this there's a 60 right here. And then it hooks onto my other 70 or 77 on the other end. So there's 137 acres that goes all the way through here. And yeah, my uncle just begged me to buy it. He went, you know, he doing everything he could to keep it in the Judy family. And you know, I was working in town, had a factory job when I bought this. I was making $10 an hour. And I'd already bought 2 farms and built a house. And was, you know, trying to make payments. I wasn't trying, I was doing it. This is all before the divorce came. And he said, Greg, I'll sell it all to you. I'll sell you that over there for $350 an acre. Can you believe that? $35,000 for 100 acres. I couldn't do it. It might as well have been $1 million. I just didn't have the funds to do it. And so it got sold, and today that property over there is worth, I know you're not going to believe this, but it's worth around $5,000 an acre. It's 2022. So, yeah. Yep. I think the guy that just bought that, there's a house up there on it. It's his hunter's cabin up there in the woods. He doesn't live out here. He lives in town, but he comes out here and hunts. There's 100 acres that parallels me all the way down this ridge. It's all timber and brush. And this 60 that we have used to look like that over there. Of course, you can tell it doesn't look that way anymore. But think about that, $35,000 for 100 acres. Oh. But anyway, it doesn't do any good to sit here and cry about it. It's just, I'm just stating fact. That's what happened, and we're thankful we have what we have, you know? And so that's the way it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Jan's gonna be here with lunch in a little bit, and we'll go ahead and start handing them up boards and metal. We're getting this thing whipped out, and we'll see y'all next time. And everyone have a great day, and hit that subscribe button on the way out if you would. You're gonna help me. We're getting close to 100,000. I think I'm only like, I don't know, 350 viewers away from hitting 100,000 subscribers. It's nuts. Thank you all. Have a good one.